Hos Ekstra pleier vi å si gjør det billig, men nå legger vi til 2 bokstaver i slagordet vårt og sier gjør det billigst. Vi har nemlig blitt kåret til Norges billigste lavpriskjede i nettavisens store pristest. Så gjør julehandelen billigst hos Ekstra.
Når virus stopper planene, grever jeg i arkivet her, sjø. Dette Helle Steinkløv og Jernverket traff tyske Ascension på Beyond the Gates i 2015. Men du, før intervjuet er noe jeg må si. For det er ikke gratis å lage Jernverket, så om du vil støtte produksjonen av programmet, er det helt genialt om du vil donere et par slanter. Det går an å trekke et fast beløp hver måned via patreon.com/jernverket, eller gi en enkeltsum via Vipps-nummer 567438. Informasjon og lenkene står i episodebeskrivelser, og beløpet er selvsagt valgfritt. Bidraget går rett til Jernverket. Tusen takk for alt jeg har fått inn hittil. Jeg er takknemlig for hver eneste kron.
So, hi, Ascension, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you come a bit closer, maybe? I could sit. We could just start with you guys telling me what's your name and what you do in the band.
That's not usually how we work. Most probably, you know that we stay anonymous in the band, so it wouldn't make sense for us to introduce us with
Use
names.
your anonymous names then.
We don't have names.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So what about we put a voice on your instrument? What does your voice do? Like the sound, what do you do in the band? You don't have to say your name.
I play drums.
That's easier.
I'm the singer.
Guitar player.
Good. Then I actually can say...
Yeah, for good, sorry.
Yeah, you have to come closer because I can't get you on the microphone.
Bass player.
Nice. Then I actually can tell listeners that the guitar player said that. It'll be easier that way. So, tell us about Ascension. You started out in 2007.
That's right.
Yeah. How did it all begin?
Michael?
Well, how did it begin? We started as a two-piece in the first place in 2007 and found out pretty quick that we would need more people in the band in order to get the vision that we had realized. So, and then things went very fast. I think we got all the persons that we wanted, and since then we have released one demo tape in 2009, our debut album Consolamentum in 2010, and in 2014, last year, the second album, The Dead of the World.
So you had really a really quick career, really, like from...
Depends on what you mean by career. But yeah, if you do something with passion and at least a bit clear sight of what you want to achieve, things can go very fast. That's true.
But why have you chosen to be anonymous?
Well,
Different reasons, I think, and a lot of reasons. Like,
that's something we decided very early, because we everyone in the band had played before, had played in different bands before, and what we decided very early was that we wanted to put the focus on the work actually, rather than on imagery or no, not maybe not imagery, but on the persons or on the people that are behind it, and that's the basic idea of it, I guess. that was a very early decision, and we stick to it since then.
So you were a bit afraid that if people knew who you were, they would get another impression of the music?
They would probably judge it, but I think that's not really the point, because the thing is that we as individuals, we want to represent what we think Ascension is, and we want to stand behind the artwork. We don't want the artwork to let us shine. We want us to let the artwork shine.
Yeah, for us, actually, it's really something very natural, I guess. It's nothing artificial that we wanted to, I don't know, for whatever reason, we didn't want to achieve something with it. It was a very natural and very quick decision. It was not that we, I don't know, that it didn't take us a lot of time or discussion. It was natural, and that's and we are pretty happy with this decision still, I guess.
How do you manage to keep it like secret? It's not really about secrecy. It's more it's really in the sense of staying behind. So if I don't know, if it's quite hard to keep secrecy in this small kind of scene. And it's not our and it's not our primary goal. It's only to when we put in when we get a record out, then we don't want to have I don't know, we don't even have our credits in the liner notes, so somebody wrote this and somebody wrote that. It's just the thing as it is. That's it. But how do you work with the music? What is Ascension? How do you work when you make new songs, concepts, melodies?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think it's hard for artists, and I'm not even sure if they really should talk about it, how they create their music. I think there's a lot of, it's a very subconscious process. It's nothing that it's nothing with a big plan. It's the things that come from the inside, and sometimes you are surprised what comes out, and you have to work with it anyway. And yeah, sometimes it's things that you already knew that were inside you that just pop out in a certain moment, at a certain point of time. And obviously we have a rehearsal room, and we work on the music.
Everyone does,
but
I mean, it's not the point, I think.
Yeah, the main inspiration is something that is even a secret to us, I think, in the end. And maybe it should
I think if you
be like this.
Just focus on the music, I really I think people consider us as a black metal band, which is kind of natural and one of our main influences. But on the other hand, music-wise, for us it's really important to incorporate a lot of influences, and and that's something that comes naturally.
But do all of you write the music, or is there like one boss and then you jam out from that?
Let's put it this way: everyone is involved. So, of course, a drummer always has a focus on drumming, and the guitar player always has his focus on guitar playing. But everyone is involved, and we're kind of let's say democratic band. It's of course someone comes up with some ideas, and then it's quite it takes some time, and it evolves into the song eventually.
Tell us about the last album. That's a concept. What is it all about?
it's not a concept actually. I'd say. I mean, it has like a sort of guideline through it, but it's not a concept. It's not a story or something like that. I guess the songs complement each other, and the lyrical themes have a common point. But the previous one was a concept.
Oh, maybe I mixed them together.
Oh, right.
But I think they all float kind of into each other.
Interesting that you think so.
Point.
Yeah.
But still, I wonder what it is all. What is it all about?
The last record, you mean?
Yeah.
You mean the songs on the record float into each other and kind of make sense in the way they are put?
Yeah, I still think that.
Yeah. Well, it's well thought, definitely, but I don't think that the songs really tell a story. It's just probably that the topics of the songs are kind of floating into each other.
I think most probably if you want to find something similar to a concept, then you should take a closer look to the last song, maybe, because I think for me, I can only talk for myself when it comes to this point, but lyric-wise, it's the most important song on the album, and of course it's the last song on purpose. It closes down the album, and it is the Roman representation of the album title, the Dead of the World, which involves many aspects. So I don't know if it's a good idea to explain it in detail, but you have to know that it's not only, of course, the dead of the world are people in general, of course, but it can also be seen that the dead of the world is something that we consider ourselves to be. And yes, I think this is a good starting point when you are reading the actual lyrics and read them and have an own opinion of course. I think the common aspect is death. That's something I think we are all of the same opinion.
Yeah, I think that the Dead of the World somehow reflects in a very strange way the things that happened to all of us within the band before we wrote the album, and I think it's a good example of how things can go in directions or in ways that you didn't even maybe consider them to be in the first place. And maybe it's also way too early to talk about it, because it's not that far away, the album, at least not in our time scale, so to say. But what we realized after it is that it's probably the most hostile record or thing that we have ever done. It's really a very, very dark, a very ugly, and a very hostile album.
So it's become more and more dark for every album and EP. You feel that?
I wouldn't say so. Even I think. I guess the main point why it actually became so repulsive and so hostile is it's a record that actually transmits a message to the outer world, which the previous one doesn't. Yeah. So it's very chaotic in a way. It spreads its message, while the previous record was very introverted and was like a thing in itself that actually built up and is something very, I mean, it's a stupid word to use, perfect, but not in a way that I think it's perfect. It's perfect and what it should be. So I don't know. I think that's
closed.
Closed, really, like
it's really
concluded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the more positive aspects of making music, I think we cannot predict how the next stuff will sound like, because we are, or at least we consider us to be, an ever-changing beast, and we don't know in which direction it will go. As we said earlier, it's coming from the inside, and it's things that are there and have to be. You have to look for them and put them out, and then you see what you had inside.
Are you already writing new stuff?
Not at the moment.
We are thinking a lot of new stuff, but as you might know, this show tonight is most probably the last show for a longer period of time, and this is the actual reason, because we wanted to take our time for making new material. We want to isolate ourselves and focus on writing new stuff. But of course there's a lot of ideas floating around, but nothing concrete yet.
But you don't play a lot live either. What's the reason for kind of holding back? It took some years before you actually played a show.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, not playing live much is, of course, a thing of perspective. If you look at bands like Neurosis or so. But actually this year was quite productive in that way. We had a tour in February with Bölzer, Wasserfor and Evangelium in Europe. And this is now the third festival show, so that's 14 shows in 1 year, and this is
for us. This is
quite much for a band like Ascension. But you are right; it's not that we play on every plug, and we try to look for things that are important to us. I mean, it's no coincidence that we play here for the first time in Norway as the last concert. So,
and I think there are different aspects to that as well, because could be considered as kind of keep people excited about seeing the shows. This would be one aspect. Another aspect is having your personal freedom, so you take your time for certain aspects in the band, and only if it feels right, you go out and bring it to the people, actually. So we're not a full-time band, we're not making a living out of it, so it's always we are
free in a way.
Yeah, we're free, and it's always the case that there's a cost involved. Playing live is not. Of course, it's something that we do enjoy, but it's not easy in the way of getting out, and it's work. It's actual work, and I think it demands a lot, and we are putting a lot of energy into the actual shows that we are playing, and so maybe that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, what I also think is that if you want to do something like as good as you cannot repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, because this will lead to lacking quality. So we invent our show, we do it a bunch of times, and then we want to stop it for a while and then probably reinvent it, and to keep it fresh and keep it like that it's like doing something with us, that it's not becoming normal. That would be the worst thing ever, I think.
Well, I've never seen you live yet. You say you invent the show. Is it some kind of like theater, or does it have a theme around it, or is it? What do you mean by invent?
I think he means that we incorporate a lot of not a lot, but for a band of our size, a lot of gear, and of course it depends on the venue. I think tonight it's not going to be very much of that, but we are trying to evolve in that sense, and it's not theater. Nothing is absolutely planned, and but of course you have to. You can't do the same thing over and over again. And the normal way would be to have more gear, to have a bigger crew, and as I said, we are not a full-time band, so this is something that is kind of a restricted area for us. So we decided to have some special shows when the time feels right, and that's what we do.
Så hyggelig at dere inviterte til juleverksted.
Ja, hyggelig at dere vil komme.
Pepperkake og musikk og sne. Det så spinnvilt.
Spinnvilt? Du sier spinnvilt veldig mye om dagen, pappa.
Jeg gjør kanskje det. Jeg må plukke det opp et sted.
Ja, nå det spinnville førjulsuker hos Ekstra, og du får 6-pakk 1,5 liter med Pepsi Max til kun 79 kroner pluss pant, og 40% medlemsrabatt på alle ferske grønnsaker. Gjør julehandelen billig hos Ekstra.
Over 70% av alle nye nettsider laget kun for å svindle oss. Du sikker på at du klarer å gjennomskue alle?
For sikkerhetens skyld har vi inkludert viktige sikkerhetstjenester i våre mobilabonnement, slik at du blant annet kan surfe sikrere. Bli tryggere med mobilabonnement fra Telenor. Se telenor.no.
I know that you like to keep as anonymous as possible without that much effort, but do you have any good stories from the life as a band that you could share with the public? Like any, it can be something Spinal Tap-ish, something, a time where you felt like fanboys yourself because you played with a band you were fans of, or maybe one time you met someone that were like crazily in love with you. Do you have any good stories to tell from the life as a band?
We could tell a lot of bad stories.
Why not?
They should stay inside the band as well as the good stories as well. Yeah. I think that the tour we did this year, this was a very interesting and rewarding experience, having 4 bands together which in some ways are very what's called in English, who share a lot of thoughts or ideas, and this was really a very explosive and interesting experience.
And to see that this works for us, like a tour, and that was a positive experience. It was an experiment. We didn't know how this would turn out, and it turned out very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Summer Solstice. I think this was for me.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, this was
magical.
Really a magic moment, because I consider it to be the most magic live on stage moment that I've ever had, and it was. I don't know. I know it's necessary to use words to describe this, but it's quite hard to do, because it was overwhelming, really.
You know what we are talking about? Like this
festival.
festival in
Summer Solstice. I've never been there, but I know about it.
Yeah.
And
it's incredible.
It is like, I don't know. It's really like a clash of yourself with the surroundings, and when we actually played, until this point, it was a very exciting but quite normal event. But I don't know, I can only talk for myself in this case. When I stood there on stage, it was extremely inspiring. That's something. Maybe not the kind of story you wanted to hear, but that's really. I don't know. Ascension is about spirituality, and this was a very spiritual moment.
You just felt it everywhere.
Yeah, it was. I know. I was. It was kind of a out of the body experience. I was really. I was almost watching myself play. It was really very, very special. I don't know. I think
I totally agree.
Yeah. At the right time and the same on the right place.
Yeah, you just get absorbed in the moment.
Yeah.
Really.
And this is these are the rare moments when you really know why you are doing this, because. Of course, you have to deal with a lot of struggles, and but this is paying off for everything. So yeah, that's a very inspiring story in a way.
For us.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah, but still, I know what you mean. I know the feeling you're trying to describe. You can't describe it, but you can.
We had similar gigs as well. But this one is very special to me, at least.
It's a very special place. I mean, you feel the place when you get there.
So I should go to Summer
You definitely should go. Yeah,
definitely.
Please do yourself a favor.
Maybe I should. There's so many festivals and so few days of the year where you actually can go.
Yeah.
If you get a ticket, you have to be very fast.
Yeah.
Take some waterproof clothes with you. Then.
Have you seen the weather here?
I have. Yeah. Yes.
But there it was comparable. Like the weather was kind of comparable to here. But it made it even better.
I've grown up like in Norway. It rains a lot.
Okay.
So you know, you have to learn to live with it. But now I usually or I always ask the bands to make the playlist for the show, and now we're probably soon out of time. So I want you to pick one Ascension song for the show, and after that 2 favorite songs each. It might be whatever, but mostly we play hard rock and metal. So
one favorite Ascension song.
One favorite Ascension song, just all together, just one song.
Okay.
But after,
so we have to agree on one.
No.
You don't have to. But after you picked the one Ascension song for me, then 2 favorite non-Ascension songs each.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys too, even though you haven't said anything yet. So any good Ascension songs to play for our listeners?
Well, which one would be the best? Mortui Mundi.
Yeah.
Mundi is
I agree. It shows
my pick as well.
It's the climax of the show, and that's it.
And the climax of the album
as well.
And that's, I think, Eva?
Yeah, you actually agreed.
We agreed.
Wow.
Oh, so
That was easy.
Rare moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then 2 favorite songs each of whatever bands you love. Mostly metal or hard rock, but if you have something else you feel that fits like the moment, it's of course okay.
I don't know if it's connected to us. We are in fucking Norway, so for me it would be the Mysterious Doom Satanas, obviously. And for the other part, Stranger in a Strange Land by Iron Maiden.
Quite different choices, but I like it. That's kind of party.
Okay.
A random playlist.
It's actually the toughest question so far. Well, I would say it doesn't actually have a name. It's the second song on the Kinose mini album of Deathspell Omega. And well, I would say don't talk to strangers.
Deathspell Omega and I like it.
Yeah, next one.
Yeah.
Since I'm in Norway, I will keep it black metal only, and I go with the Street 7-inch EP, a band from Norway with these two songs. Street. It's translated to battle. It's from the early 90s. Street, yeah. I could name not only 2 songs, but 2 million songs, but I keep it with these 2 songs.
That's EP.
Yes.
What about you?
I agree with our drama.
You agree?
You picked the same songs?
Oh, you picked the same songs?
Yeah.
You kidding? You're having too much like brain stuff going on here. Like telepathy? Yeah.
Okay.
Between, without noticing.
Supernatural.
What about you?
All right. Because we were in Norway, I probably put at least like one Norwegian song. I think it's Pagan Winter of Darkthrone, because it's like, for me, like A Blaze in the Northern Sky is like one of the darkest and most like, I don't know, it gives me shivers, that record. And I think that is like it's not, you cannot say it's the best song, but it's the song that made like from the very first second the most impact on me. And the second song is Just a Boy from Swans. For having the dark theme. I mean, the last Swans album is one of the darkest albums I've ever heard, and so those songs actually fit together, even though they had completely different music, I think.
Thanks a lot. I liked the spread in the songs you chose. Can you, last but not least, make a jingle for the show? You could, of course, make it easy and just say, hi, we're Ascension, you're listening to Jernverket. Or you could be creative.
In the name of God, let the churches burn.
What?
It's Fenris.
Yeah, but we should still combine it with the show and the name of the band.
Okay, that's not my job.
So the show is called Jernverket.
Like what?
Jernverket. 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 It's probably easier to say it in like Deutsch English.
Okay.
Jernverket.
What does that mean?
It means ironworks, where you melt iron.
All right.
Okay, so hello, Jernverket. We are Ascension, and you're listening. No, that's something we have to do again.
Yeah.
So you want to... hello, we are Ascension, and you're listening to Jernverket.
Yeah, that's good enough. But what about photos? Am I allowed to photo? No.
Oh,
Can I take a photo like your hands or your legs or something just to have a picture of the band?
Why not taking a live photo?
Of course.
Yeah, I think this would be the best.
If I'm coming back, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
What I can do tonight, but I could take a photo of your shoes, couldn't I?
We have even.
It doesn't represent Ascension, I think.
It's very impressive, I think.
We have even few promo photos than live shows, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking, trying to do this in another way, because I can't photograph your faces, and I can't take it from the photo from behind.
Do you agree with just putting the logo or something?
I can do that, or a live photo, of course.
Or I don't know. If you are getting in contact with us, we could send you some promo photos.
Yeah.
Du har hørt et intervju med Ascension innspilt i 2015. Likte du det, kan du for eksempel høre episodene med Necros Christus, Grave Miasma og Negative Plane. Neste veka tar jeg ingen sjanser og satser på at et Skype-intervju med Goat the Head lar seg gjøre, så får vi i hvert fall noe ferskt. Da det bare å abonnere på Jernverket podcast via podcast-app eller gå inn på jernverket.com hvis ikke du allerede gjør det. Fortell alle du kjenner om podden og legg gjerne igjen en god anmeldelse der du hører. Og vil du bidra med noe penger for at jeg skal kunne fortsette, så kan du gi støtte via Patreon eller Vips. Info i episodebeskrivelser. Og husk på å følge Jernverket på Instagram og Facebook, der det konkurranser, diskusjoner og musikktips. Og akkurat nå kan du vinne jakkemerker fra Katakomben. Jeg heter Helle Steinkløv og gir deg et nytt eller gammelt hardrock-intervju hver fredag. Høres!
Julen bedre med Meny, og våre matarbeidere står klare til å hjelpe deg med juleforberedelsene. Denne helgen får du blant annet et stort utvalg norsk angusbiff til minus 30%, 400 gram fersk norsk kjøttdeig til 54,90, årets lutefiska skrei til 139 kroner per kilo, og plukk og miks 3 for 2 på alt fra Jakobs utvalgte, i butikk og levert rett hjem. Meny, spiser du bedre, lever du bedre.